Yeah, man, y'all shit was dope, man. Yo, Zara, you really about to go to New York for real?
Yo, man, we out.
Man, you ain't going no damn New York, bro. You don't be going nowhere like that.
Yo, man.
See, I've been places, you know what I'm saying? I travel. I go, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what about you, Shrew?
I mean, niggas don't really be going nowhere, but I do. I know I do.
Where you been at? Where you been at, man?
Shit, I be out Puerto Rico, I be out Cuba.
Shit, I've been in the
This nigga ain't been no motherfucking Cuba, man.
Where's your Cuban cigar at, nigga?
Niggas go to Baltimore act like they been somewhere.
I've been places too. I've been to places too.
I don't know what you gonna do.
Man, what's your Cap? Well, I know Captain. He's an international. Where you got? You've been all over the place, Captain.
Trinidad, Canada.
Damn,
I've been around, man.
Damn, you been out there with Drake and all that shit?
Damn, that's better than what I was.
What about you, Yashima? What's up?
No, I'm from Jamaica, but I've been Canada, Florida, New York.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Philly.
Shit. What about you, Cap?
Well, I'll tell you where y'all niggas ain't been.
Yo, Cat, where you been though, man?
Man, I've been where y'all niggas ain't been. I've been to the Passover.
What?
Yeah, y'all ain't never been there? You ain't never been to the Passover?
Wow.
What up?
That was a hurt piece.
Y'all ain't never been to the Passover? Y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
What the fuck is the
You ain't never been to the Passover? Huh? You ever been to the Passover? My bad. But y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
Unfortunately not.
You got the lamb slaughter. You got General Muhammad's class. We got the children's party.
Children's?
They got stuff for the kids to do. We got babysitters. They need babysitters.
I love the kids.
I ain't fucking with them kids.
And we're gonna have the black party.
Oh, shit.
And guess what?
What's that?
If you pay your Passover fees up front, you can get in the black party for free.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Black party?
It's gonna be performances there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be open bar with the beer and the wine all night. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be in the building, you know what I mean?
Niggas say black party? Shit.
Keep going.
You already know what it is. We do it bigger and better every year. This year, the 54th annual Passover.
And before the Passover, we got the biggest party of the year. It's the annual Black Party, March 30th. That's on a Thursday at the Durham Armory. Make sure y'all in the building.
And the moment y'all all been waiting for, the 54th annual ISUBK Passover, April 1st. April 1st, we doing it big. Once again, serving the Most High in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And you can get all of that at this year's Passover. Somebody give me Romans 13 and 11.
I have a question.
It's a Ronald Carr, man. Give me Romans 13 and 11.
Khan Khan, this is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Brother, you need a water?
Thank you.
Hey, yo, shalom, Lord in Christ, shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh, Shah, Brakathum, to the brothers, shalom, Shamar, out of Thumb, by Shem, Yahweh, Shah, to the sisters, you know what I mean, this is ISUPK, Delaware, Camden, you know what I'm saying, ISUPK, of course, started out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, and as usual, we teach the truth, according to this Bible, that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American are the two children of the house of Israel. All right, so I'm Precinct Officer 500, Azal War. Introduce yourself, man.
Trooper Wyatt Quam out of Camden, Delaware, here to preach the truth, wake up people up, 12 tribes of Israel.
most high in Christ, most high gang. You know, that's what I get. But yeah, man, yeah. So you know what I mean. We out here, of course, to bring out this info, man, to our brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? On the late night, it's 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, man, and we're gonna keep it going. I hope y'all was able to check out Officer Slakia, Captain Tazayawan's class, Brotherhood class. You know what I mean? So, you know, hey, we out here. Hey, shalom, shamar, thumb by Shem Yahweh Shai. What's good? Just starting paint. You know what I mean? Glad for you to be able to join us, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, we listen, let me tell y'all, man, it's a lot of stuff that's been going on and coming out, you know, with this whole situation with these 5 cops and, you know, and the beating of his brother. So, you know, I thought it'd be only right to kind of go a little bit deeper into, you know, how wrong these brothers are and not having brotherhood, you know what I mean? And it's, you know, I come to find out the craziest part was, now I don't know if it's true if 3 of these brothers were in a fraternity, but I do know at least one of them was definitely in a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? And it was in that fraternity, the purple people, you know what I mean? The Omega Psi Phi. Omega Psi Phi. Hey, shalom y'all. Shalom y'all. Captain Tazayawan in the building. But yeah, man. So most definitely, man. Like it's that one of the brothers was a member of the fraternity. You know what I mean? Omega Psi Phi. You know, and it proves even further that, you know, they don't know what brotherhood is. All right. Because these fraternities, you know, what they doing is they doing all they can to join to their oppressor. You know, a lot of these fraternities that they come out. In fact, you'll see a lot of these fraternity brothers, they'll either get into, you know, criminal, you know, become cops, and, you know, a lot of them end up becoming pastors. You know what I mean? A lot of your pastors that you know out there, believe it or not, they were at some point in time in some type of fraternity. whether it be Sigma, whether it be Alphas, Kappas, Omegas, Iotas, all that. Matter of fact, Martin Luther King himself was an Alpha. He was in a fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. You know what I mean? Out in Morehouse. You know what I'm saying? What you're gonna find is that, that comes from that. Matter of fact, Captain Zion did a whole breakdown, on these organizations and what they're really about and who they're joined to. And you got to understand they're Greek organizations. Omega Psi Phi, those is Greek letters. You know what I mean? So it automatically shows you who they really are brothers to, what they're really about. So we definitely going to get into it today, and we're going to prove how this could be one of the reasons why this has come out with these 5 black officers beating this brother to death, to show that there is no true brotherhood, even in the places in the world that says that they have true brotherhood. These are people that's supposed to look out for one another and look out for their brothers. And here they are beating a man to death. And it's because they are the seed of their father. They are of their father, the devil. You know what I'm saying? Not the seed of the father, but they come from that same root. You know what I mean? And that's the reason, like the scripture says, you know what I mean? You are of your father, the devil. You know what I mean? The works of your lust you will do. You know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing, because that's exactly what they're about. And here it is that, that was the one thing that came out, that, they're in a Greek fraternity. Now, the other thing that came out, I don't know if there's any truth to it, but it wouldn't be too far to believe, is that one of the officers, he had a personal vendetta against the brother Tyree, because he possibly was doing something with his wife. And what they're saying is that him and his wife worked at FedEx, and people were kind of putting 2 and 2 together, because it's so supposedly, and I don't know if it's true yet, it probably came out, I wasn't watching too much stuff going on this week, but supposedly they were taking pictures of him, of Tyree, beaten, battered, and bruised, and sending it to his wife. He sent it to his wife. You know what I'm saying? So, but the crazy thing, that wouldn't be too far from the truth, because again, we as a people don't know what true brotherhood is. If you in the ISUPK, that's one thing you don't have to worry about, is some brother coming after your wife. You know what I mean? Or even looking at your wife. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that, because we understand true brotherhood, and that's just something you just don't do. But here in these fraternities, they share women. You know what I mean? And then marry them. They share the women become all sorts of whores throughout the, you know what I mean? And then they end up marrying them. And then it's just like, when you come to the barbecue, the homecoming, they be like, you married her? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that's what's up. You know what I mean? So we gonna get into it, man, just a little bit here. I'm not going to take up too much of the time here today, but let's go to let me see. Let me start off. Let me go back here. Salakia. I had a couple that I wanted to really touch on. But yeah, man, these and it's crazy, because you can tell that it's not true brotherhood, because look what you got to do in order to get it. I know some brothers that have went through, as they say, the burning sands, and I know some people who have signed on, and they're not being treated the same. You know what I mean? I know some people who went through the whole, the pledge and the whatever they call it. I forget. It's another word that we use. Hazing. They go through that whole process and drop. You know what I mean? And then they're just pretty much kicked out. You see what I'm saying? One thing I'm gonna tell you for sure, here in the ISUPK, man, this is no fraternity. All right, don't let people, fool you into thinking that we, copy anything from what these fraternities and what these folks is doing. You know what I'm saying? And even with some of the things that we do, you will always have a brother here in the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? We'll never ostracize you. Even those who are not in the UPK, we understand that there's no choice. You are still an Israelite. You see what I'm saying? And we know how to deal with those who are in the school and who are not in the school. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, we could tell y'all till we blue in the face, but y'all ain't gonna believe it unless you actually see it. But the fact of the matter is, even those who are outside the school come to ISUPK for counsel. You know what I mean? Because we understand true brotherhood and we understand how to treat one another, how to treat our sisters. All right. So let me get 1 Samuel chapter 18. And we're gonna kick this right on off. All right. Because this is something that we should always keep within ourselves, man. It's a couple things we should understand as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I mean? It's a few things that we should understand. That first and foremost, that this Bible is our heritage. We need to take back our heritage. You know what I mean? And once we take back this heritage, we'll know how to treat ourselves. We know how to separate ourselves, and we know how to put ourselves on our rightful place on this earth. But no sooner than that. You know what I'm saying? You got that?
What verse?
Let me get verse 1.
Con. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass when he had made the end of speaking unto Saul, the soul of John, was that John?
Let me get that. Let me get there with you. Hold on, Salakia. All right, go ahead.
That the soul of Jonathan was a kite with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul.
Mm-hmm. That's how we should love one another, man. We should love our brothers as we love ourselves. Isn't that what Christ said? Is that not what Christ said? He said we should love ourselves, love our brother as we love ourselves. You see what I'm saying? And that's how David treated this brother, man. You know what I mean? Let me get there with you, Salakia. All right, read that. Go ahead. Continue on.
Verse 2. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jonathan and David made a covenant.
Right.
Because he loved him as his own soul.
He loved him as his own soul. You know, this man loved David more than his father. Remember, this is a time that Saul wanted to kill David, man. Saul wanted his head because the women was cheering more for King David than they was for him. You know what I mean? They was like, you know what I mean? Hey, Saul killed his hundreds, but they was like, yeah, but David killed his thousands. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he had to give up his daughter to King David. He was trying to renege, man. He was trying to be a renegger. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But you know, even Saul, even David was telling Saul like, "Yo," you know, I mean, telling Jonathan like, "Yo, that's your pop, man." You know what I mean? But Jonathan was like, "Nah, man, you my brother. You know what I mean? I got your back. You know, all the way to the end. That's how we should be treating our brothers, man. You know what I mean? No matter what, we should always have each other's back. You see what I'm saying? When wrong is being done, then we should speak up for that brother. Them brothers should have spoke up. They knew he had some type of vendetta, you know what I mean, for that man. They should have stopped it. That's why now it's coming out that more people are getting arrested. You know, firemen, the ambulance, people are not getting arrested, getting fired. They all getting fired now, man. You see what I'm saying? Because they implicated. They basically were just sitting there doing nothing as this man was getting beat to death, man. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually, like that should be a rule, man. Nobody should be beat to death. It shouldn't be nobody sitting around just videotaping either. Like when George Floyd got killed, you know what I mean? I understand that, you know, officers is doing their duty, but there's no reason why somebody should be able to do that, especially if they knew the law. I was listening to a video the other day, and it was a guy, he was interviewing a cop, and he was saying, yeah, you're immediately, once they are handcuffed, they must be lifted up off of their stomach. You see what I'm saying? Because if they're on their stomach, they can't breathe. So as a courtesy, you would handcuff them and then get them off their stomach and sit them up so that they can breathe right away. You see what I'm saying? But here it is. They tased this man, beat this man, left him there. He couldn't even breathe. You know what I'm saying? And he died that way. Well, let me tell you something else, man. These fraternities, they learn these things. You see what I'm saying? Because how many deaths have there been due to hazing? You see what I'm saying? That's why that man didn't have a care for him, because he probably seen somebody else doing something and dang near close to death, and he's like, well, shoot, if they can take it, he could take it. You see what I'm saying? It's matter of fact, he was the one guy, Bean, Mr. Bean. The one guy, Bean, man, he was the head of a chapter that dang near beat this man's. They beat this one dude in his genitals, man. They hit him in there 100 to 200 times. What type of mess is that, man? What type of brotherhood is that, where you beating your brother as a form of, finding out if he's your brother? Like you got to take a paddle to his butt so many daggone times. I mean, to me that seems kind of gay. You know what I mean? That you got to take a paddle to somebody's butt to prove him worthy to be your brother. You see what I'm saying? You gotta punch him in his nuts 100 to 200 times to determine whether or not if he's your brother. You see what I'm saying? You got to do all types of crazy, inhumane things to someone and embarrass them, just so during the parties they can pull their pants down and be half naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of brotherhood is this? You know what I mean? And if anybody, because I know somebody, I went to college, man. I know some people that join fraternities. You know what I mean? And the reason why we join these fraternities is because we want to have some sort of acceptance. We want to be joined to something. You know what I mean? And you hear about these fraternities, and it's like, when I get out of college, I have the connections, and so and so forth will help me get through. Well, let me tell you something. I didn't have to pledge. I didn't have to get hazed. But I had homies that when I did come out of college, they hooked me up with jobs, and I didn't have to do what some of these brothers had to do. You know what I'm saying? And then it's such a secret. It's such a secret. Why is it a secret? If you so caring about your people, then why aren't you giving these secrets to everyone? You know what I mean? That's what us in the UPK do. What do you think we do Monday through Sunday, every day? I can't even say, you know what I mean? Sunday to Sunday. You know what I mean? Sabbath to Saturday, Saturday to Saturday, every day, man. We out here, we giving out these truths. You know what I mean? Because we understand that it's the truth that will make us free as a people. And it doesn't have to be a secret. But they're doing things, and they're doing it because they learned it. It's a learned behavior. Now here it is, you got people that's going in and becoming cops and whatever have you, and then they're implementing the same things that they were learned while they were in these Greek fraternities. They're implementing the same things that they learned when they was in the military. You see what I'm saying? And that's not right. You know what I mean? And as a result, here it is, a man, because he was angry with somebody, he was so angry, you know what I mean, supposedly, that he decided to kill this dude out of revenge. You see what I'm saying? Because supposedly this person, and it's going to come out. I'm sure it's going to come out. Because even anybody that can watch that video, you can see that it had something personal with that. You know what I mean? Somebody had some type of personal vendetta to have to do this to this brother like that. And then the police chief coming out and saying things like, oh, we don't even have proof that this man was actually driving recklessly. You see what I'm saying? This man 80 yards away from his house, screaming for his mother. It's crazy, man. Let me get Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 31. It's crazy, man. Like that's how we treat our brothers. And if you look at the picture, the thumbnail for this class tonight, there's a picture of a fist, right? That fist on that man, he had his bracelet. You know what I mean? And on that bracelet was his Omega Psi Phi bracelet, which is visual. So you mean to tell me all that you learned throughout your fraternity, all that beating that you went through in your whole pledging and your whole hazing phase, you mean to tell me none of that stopped you from doing this to your brother or killing your brother? I mean, I would think that whole brotherhood thing, that whole thing that you went through to become a member of that fraternity should teach you how to treat your brothers. So I guess it only applies to those who are in the organization. That's not true brotherhood. You see what I'm saying? That's not true brotherhood. True brotherhood they couldn't even teach Martin Luther King something, man. Martin Luther King came out and was just sharing and spreading the love. Take 6. He's just spreading the love. The area dot dot dot. Y'all know that song. Y'all remember that group back in the day. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's spreading the love and giving his love unto the oppressor, man. And they did nothing for us. You know what I'm saying? You got that?
Slocky, what chapter and verse?
Let me get Ephesians. Slocky, let me go back here. All right. Let me get Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 31.
Hold on, one sir.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Let all brotherliness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking, but put away from you all, so I can put away from you all with all. Was it malice?
Yeah. It says let all bitterness and wrath and anger, you see what I mean, and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all like listen, man. Don't be ill towards your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Rid yourself of any hatred towards your brother. You know what I mean? That's how you should be. Like you should not be ill towards your brother at all. I don't care what your brother does to you. You know what I mean? Didn't the scripture say 70 times 7, man? You know what I'm saying? I ain't sitting here telling you forgive and not forget and forgive and forget. You see what I'm saying? But what I am telling, well, yeah, actually, yeah, forgive and forget. You know what I mean? Forgive your brother, but still, I mean, you can remember what he did, but don't charge him for that. You know what I mean? Understand that brother has a chance to be forgiven, has a chance to really prove himself to be worthy. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're supposed to do anyway. You're supposed to prove your friends. You know what I'm saying? Whether they be really whether they really be for you. You don't just call anybody your friend. I tell my sons this all the time, man. You know what I mean? Y'all don't just call anybody your friend. Prove them. Be sure that they're your friend, because your friend they can stab you right in the back if you're not careful. You know what I'm saying? You got to know them who labor amongst you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that is, man. Like I'm not gonna come to a brother that I know ain't gonna be responsible to do something to make him responsible for something that's great. I'm a try him first. I'm gonna try him with a little thing first to build that up. And then once he gets to a certain level, now I can give him a greater thing. But I ain't just gonna be like, I ain't never gonna give him a great thing because he don't never do nothing right. You know what I'm saying? I you know, sometimes you just gotta have that mercy, because you understand the Most High has mercy on you. And that's how you got to treat your brothers. You treat your brothers just as Christ would treat you. You know what I mean? You love your brothers just like Christ loves you. You see what I'm saying? But it's just like, if this is not, I'm not going to say if this is not, because I know it's not. You know what I mean? It's not being taught in these organizations. Just don't pay your dues and see if they still got that same brotherhood. You know what I mean? Oh man, you ain't in the organization, man. When you don't even be paying your dues, man. When the last time you been to the founders luncheon? I don't know what they do. Actually, I do know a little something. When the last time you been to a founders, like, man, listen, man, you ain't in the brother. You ain't the brother no more. Nah, man, don't grip me. Don't grip that brother. You know, they do this handshake. Nah, don't grip that brother, man. Nah, he's slipping, man. Nah, he signed papers, man. He a signer, man. Don't grip him up. You know what I mean? He a brother, but he ain't a brother like you and our brothers. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Ain't got no true brother. It's something really. People have been hazed to death, and you're not a brother if you open your mouth and say help. Get me to a hospital. You know what I'm saying? All right, listen, man. We took you to the hospital. Don't say nothing, because we'll get suspended. If you say anything, they're gonna stop us from beating the next brother halfway to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is the brotherhood? Why we got to go through all that just to get a secret? And what is so important about that secret? Is that secret telling you that you, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, are the true children of Israel? Because if it's not, it is vain. It is vanity. It's vanity. Oh, I got some secrets, man. I got some secrets. Trust and believe. And you ain't got to pay 500. You know, it was a dude that tried to come out and said he paid 500,000 Wayaquam. He paid $500,000 to look at a book that he couldn't read at the Vatican.
Good night.
Listen, man, I got some books. Captain Katazai even say, he's like, I got some books, man. You can just come to my crib. I'll take that 500 stacks and I'll put it to good use. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give us any bread, man, because they give us bread. You got to understand, our people will be helped. You see what I'm saying? We will put that money to good use. We won't go out and buy a Cadillac and, you know what I mean, a house. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of Gucci belts. You see what I'm saying? We're going to make sure that we go out and we help our people that are poor, that are sick, that are hungry. You know what I mean? Shouts out to the brothers. We going to K&A this weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be down in Kensington, Allegheny, giving out food. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got the money that, you know, some of these dudes, these ball players and things like that got. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to make sure that we do something for our people with what little we have. You know what I'm saying? And people will try to sit there and ostracize us and say, well, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? We doing everything that we can. Why don't you join in? You know what I mean? Because obviously you're not doing anything. Obviously our people are getting into businesses thinking they can infiltrate, like they infiltrating these police stations and thinking that they're going to go in there and do something for our people when they're not going to do anything but the lust of their father, because they want to be seen as equal. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you something, man. So I'm going to read this real quick. So as we know, you know what I mean? Like I said, the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, they finally came out with a statement. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and read this. So they came out with a statement on, no, please don't tell me that. January 29th. When did this happen? When did this boy get his butt whipped? Back in January 7th? Well, at least they gonna let the president beat them to a statement, man. The president was like swift justice. He came out real quick with a statement. I guess they try to keep it on a hush that these were, you know what I mean, members of their fraternity. You know what I mean? And it's a crime and a shame. I understand, you know, they just trying to cover up themselves and say, you know, we don't condone it. But what else you expect? You see what I'm saying? Where's the statements for the people who, you know, were beaten, you know what I mean, and ended up in the hospital due to hazing and things like that, when, you know, your school, when you get suspended from the school and you can't practice your fraternity or your organization at a school for a couple years because of a hazing incident. You know what I mean? What statement is the whole organization putting out then? Because it should be something that should be said as soon as somebody comes to the school or is recruited to the school, and say this school has had a fraternity incident with the Omega Psi Phi or the Kappa Alpha Psi or the Alpha Phi Alpha. We have had a hazing incident which caused the brothers here to be suspended because they didn't know how to properly beat somebody. I don't know what they would say. You know what I'm saying? So let's read this statement real quick. This is coming from Omega Psi Phi. Statement on Mr. Tyree Nichols from Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. As we all travel this road of grief and mourn with Tyree's family, let there be no doubt of our resolve concerning holding all public service officials accountable for their actions, and in particular, holding these accused former officers accountable for their actions. We condemn their actions in the strongest possible way and call on our elected officials to immediately institute measures to put an end to the senseless killing of citizens in our community by law enforcement official. We extend our heartfelt and earnest sympathies to the family and friends of Mr. Nichols and pray for the entire Memphis community. May God give us all strength and comfort during these difficult times. That don't sound like they taking any responsibility to me. What you think?
Wow.
That don't sound like they taking any responsibility at all. It sounds like they just sorry this happened. Yeah, you know what? That's messed up what happened to them. You know what I mean? That's messed up. There's nothing in here that's saying, listen, man, we do not condone any beating of anybody. Why wouldn't they say that? You see what I'm saying? We do not condone any abuse to any black male. We do not condone any abusing. Why wouldn't they say that? You see what I'm saying? Because it's okay as long as they're doing it for the purple and gold, or the red and white, or the black and gold, or whatever colors else is the blue and white and all them other type colors. You see the crimson and cream. It's okay when you're doing it for the colors, but it's not okay when it's a cop doing it. And if I promise you, if it had never came out that it was these brothers was member of the Omega Psi Phi, they would have never brought it out. They wouldn't have made no statement. Why would they make a statement? Because they want to continue to get members. They want to continue to brainwash your kids, bring them into their organizations so that they can continue to grow and do what? Be police in the organization, be people that, you know, like it ain't just police. Like, look, you got basketball players. Look at all the people that are in fraternities and tell me what have they done. Michael Jordan is in a fraternity. Shaquille O'Neal. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these basketball players were in fraternities. Now, what have they done that was so special to uplift their brothers? You see what I'm saying? Oh, he wish he was in a fraternity. You wish he was in a fraternity, Wyaquam. He wish he was in a fraternity. That's what it is. He just mad. He just want to take his pop shots at us. Man, listen, let me tell you something. Y'all are such a small thing in this world. These fraternities are such a small thing. They're so small that they take on the names of the oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Take on the names of our oppressors as if that's something that's so worthwhile. You know what I mean? Let me get this real quick. Tell you something, man. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 17 and 4. It's such a small thing, man. This was rough to have to deal with and have to discuss. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, you know, this is what happens when, you know, we do so much to try to be seen as something in a society where they don't see us as nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a society where you're not viewed as nothing as a people, and you're trying your hardest to be seen by the people that oppress you, you're going to find out that it's not going to get you anywhere, man. Like at some point, we as a people just had to join together and be satisfied with what we have to offer. We might not be able to offer the greatest things. We might not have the best businesses. You might go to a place of business where it's black owned, and you know you might see a bug or two. You know what I'm saying? But go there and help establish and build up that business, man, to where they can constantly get, you know, maybe, you know, make it like, you know, the other establishments, because that's where we're gonna have to start, man. You got that? That's at some point we just gotta look out for one another and separate. You know what I mean? Because that's what we had before. We had businesses, but it wasn't good enough. And eventually what ended up happening is we just gave it to the oppressor. And now the oppressor owns everything. And now even those who come from abroad, man, like these other nations that come in, you know, they come in and they benefit because they have brotherhood within their nation. and they know how to build up themselves and separate from us. You got to go right ahead, read that.
Come on, sir. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I
From what?
Discontinued from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemy in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Come on, man. Listen, man. Let me get that again. Hold up. You said 17 and 4, Salakia. I'm gonna get there with you, Salakia. All right. Yeah, discontinue from thine heritage. Discontinue from thine heritage, man. That's what we do, man. It's like the scripture says, you know what I mean? You can't serve two masters. You know what I mean? Because you'll love one and hate the other. You discontinue from the heritage. You discontinue from this book. Everything that's in this book, you don't care about. Our people. You know what I mean? We reject it because we rather be police officers and police captains and police chiefs and mayors and governors and presidents. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep rising up. We want to be politicians. We want to keep rising up. We don't care who we have to step on in order to get it. And I bet you these people did this and thinking that they was like, you know what? Shoot, our counterparts, our white counterparts, man, they can get away with it. You see what I'm saying? They can do these type of things, and you know they'll just be put on leave, man. Leave without pay. I'm pretty sure in the back of their minds they was just like, you know what, we can get away with just some leave without pay. You know, ain't nothing really bad gonna happen to us. You know, he's just a black kid in these streets. He's a nobody. So we'll just go ahead and write it in our report that he was speeding. Look, they're like, you can tell. Look at their demeanor, man. Sitting around just letting this brother die. Having conversations, firemen and everybody out there. I bet you now they like, God, dog, man, we should have known better, man. It was black dudes that did it. We should have helped him right away. We should have helped them expeditiously. We should have known this was going to come out and they was going to make an example of these officers. They doing a new thing. Trooper Wayaquam, man. Like the people that was just there is getting fired. That's crazy, man. I wonder they probably gonna get the person who had the camera. They probably gonna make sure he fired too. Why ain't you do nothing? This probably a new thing is gonna happen. They're gonna probably come out later and say you can no longer record with your cameras, because if you were there, you ain't do nothing. Then, you know, you going to jail too. Like this is something else, man. We got to do better as a people. You know what I mean? And marching is not enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Just marching around the block and saying no justice, no peace, or say his name, Tyree. Say his name, Tyree. Say his name. That ain't going to help. That ain't going to help. Because it ain't going to do nothing but get quiet once again. Your president is going to come out, he's going to make a statement because why? He wants your vote. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High is angry. Meanwhile, the Most High is angry. Because even in seeing this brother die the way he did, it's still not enough to make you what? Continue with your heritage. You will continue to discontinue your heritage. Because this is just another death. This is just another beating. This is just another cop doing what cops do. They call them the jump out boys, Wayaquam.
Right.
That's what they call this unit, the jump out boys, because they jump out and jump up on you. But you don't hear about the jump out boys in the suburbs, do you? They ain't jumping out in the suburbs, are they? They might jump out and help you with your groceries. Let me get that for you, ma'am. That's what they're going to jump out on. You see what I'm saying? But they're not going to. What you say?
It's like if I could, they
Yeah.
They was trained not to do that. That's what
You
they.
can do whatever you want over here because you got to. You got. I understand over here, but over here, these are good
these folks
citizens.
alone. You leave these folks alone. That's what that's how they train. You leave these folks alone over there.
Damn right. Damn right. You leave them alone, man. You let them to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're the jump out boys in the suburbs, man. It ain't popping like that, man. Ain't no jump out boys. You see what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want in those areas. You can feel safe in those areas. And that's why a lot of black people go out to those areas, live in those areas, because they feel safe. They'll even say things like, "Oh, I'll call the cops. I know the cops. I know the cops." You know what I mean? Because I'll call them and I'll let them. They know me. Yeah, they know you. Yes, they know about you. All right. Yeah, man. Let me get Yeah, that's let me get Matt. You know what? Let me get Matthew 18, man. Let me get this out there, just in case people don't know. Matthew 18, verse 15. Because it was said that this brother, it was believed that there might have been an incident where this Tyree had slept with one of the officers' wives. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if it to be true. I don't know what the case may be. But one thing that you won't see nobody in the ISUPK doing is just going off of what they believe, and then that's it. You know what I mean? You won't see nobody no brother in the ISUPK going on Facebook saying all types of crazy stuff about someone, and they don't have the full facts of the matter. You know what I mean? And we don't do that anyway. We won't do that anyway. And we implore you sisters not to do that either. You know what I mean? Don't think that you can go on Facebook and think you're going to get, some type of good advice, or that people are going to side with you. People that respond to you on Facebook, it's entertainment for them. You're the entertainment. And guess what's going to happen? Like, it is going next year. Next year sometime you're going to get that notification. You know how you get that notification and say, this is your post that got the most views. You're going to look at that one post that got the most views, and you're going to be on there acting the plumb fool. And you're going to be like, God, I shouldn't have did that. I was on there talking about my husband and saying all this other type stuff when I could have or I was talking about a sister and saying all this stuff when I could have just went and talked to that sister. But go ahead and read that real quick.
Book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, if any brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
That's right. You go to that brother, man. If a brother says something to you or has done something to you and you don't like it, you don't go on Facebook. You don't go tell your homie, yo, man, let me tell you what this dude did, man. This dude whack, you know what I mean? Because then guess what you're doing? You spreading that gossip, you spreading that hate. You see what I'm saying? Let me tell you what you know what this dude probably did? Man, let me tell you what this dude did, man. He slept with my wife, man. Got me. I'm out here working in the street with y'all, you know what I mean? And this dude running up in my crib, you know what I mean? Done broke up a happy home. Something like it. He done broke up a happy home. So what? I don't be there all day and I hang out with y'all and we go to the bar and we drink the Police songs after work. But after that, I go home and he broke up a happy home. Ain't this? Wait, there you go right there. See? There you go right there. That's how it happens, man. You supposed to go to that brother and him alone. Hey, man, yo, just be real with me, man. Is you messing around with my woman, man? I've been hearing some things. Nah, man, what you talking about? Yeah, I work with her. That's about it. You're a liar. Like, I was like, you know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you tell me the truth. And then that's how it's supposed to be, man. You go to a brother, you go to him and him alone. You got to alt with a brother. You got an altercation with a brother. You got something that's going on with a brother. You go to that brother and him alone. That's how it's supposed to work. Goes for you sisters too, man. If you got an issue with a sister, you go to that sister. You go to her and her alone. Don't start no gossip. Don't what they call it, tea. Don't go calling your girl and say, girl, I got something to tell you. And then next, y'all going in and going back and forth. Because now that's an issue that might have been misunderstood. And you could have resolved it with your sister or with your brother. Go ahead.
sir. If he shall hear thee, thou shalt gain thee brother.
That's right. If he hear you, you gain a brother. Hey man, yo, I ain't like how you treated me, how you said that, what you said the other day. Oh, for real, man, I ain't even know, bro. I'm glad you came to me and told me. You know what I mean? I ain't even know I offended you. My bad. You know what I mean? My bad. It'll never happen again. All right, no sweat, man. I appreciate you, man. I didn't think you did. I just thought I'd come to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't want to, I ain't wanted to be any problems between you and me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, brother, let me just tell you something, man. I was hollering at my man the other day. I said something about you. I ain't wanted to get out and they come to you. You know, my bad. I was in the wrong for doing that. Oh, no sweat. You know what I mean? I understand. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. I ain't know I offended you. But next time, come to me. Come straight to me if it's a problem. You know what I mean? So we can hash that out because nobody wants something bad to be out there about them. You know what I'm saying? We working to be blameless. Like we working to be perfect. So we not perfect if you don't tell us where we fall at. You know what I'm saying? You can't just assume that I know me. I say stuff off the top of my dome every time. You know what I mean? And it might offend somebody. You know how we do. You know what I mean? Especially when the brothers get around, we start clowning each other, start talking about each other and stuff like that. I need a brother to come to me. Hey man, man, I ain't like how you said my breath was balling the other day. You know what I'm saying? Because it really do be stinking, man. And you was going in on me the other day. Oh man, my bad, Salakia, man. I ain't mean to really go in on you that time. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I ain't, I got halitosis and stuff, man. It's a real problem. My bad. I ain't no sweat. I apologize. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't know. You just be going and messing with your brothers. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you supposed to handle it. You go to your brother, him and him alone, and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I didn't appreciate this and that. Now, if that brother does not hear you, you know what I mean? He's just a jerk. And he's just like, man, forget about what you talking about. Go ahead.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with Salakia, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
Right. Counsel. This ain't no fake Israelite group. We ain't saying that now you go and get some random brothers that's gonna side with you. You know what I'm saying? No, that's counsel. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. That's what we do here in the UPK, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no bias. We want somebody that'll hear both sides, the full matter, and can judge according to that. You know what I'm saying? Now after that, and it goes on, if they don't hear that, then we gotta go in front of the congregation. You see what I'm saying? But in most cases, it won't get that far. Here, I haven't heard any cases. I talk to my brothers a lot, and we dealt with a lot of situations, and I heard we dealt with a lot of situations. So, but if it comes to that point, then now you're in front of everybody, and you can get kicked out if you just can't get your mind right. If you can't bring yourself to be brotherly and just understand and say, hey, you know what? I apologize, and humble yourself. Sometimes you just gotta humble yourself, man. You see what I'm saying? Even if you feel as though you're right. You see what I'm saying? If 2 or 3 agree and then they all come together and they saying, listen, man, no, you was wrong. Humble yourself, man. Don't be that brother that's just so hard-headed that you just can't get over yourself. You know what I mean? That you just got to be right. No, man. Because that would be unbrotherly. All right. Let me get Matthew 6, verse 14. All right, I'll give a couple more minutes and then we're gonna go ahead and end it. But yeah, man, it's like I said, everything that's just been going on, everything that's coming out with this whole situation with these brothers, with these 5 brothers. Like I said, it's a crime and it's a shame. You know what I mean? And I tell you, man, you're going to see, like I said, a new thing. These brothers are going to get put in jail so fast, man. You know what I mean? They're going to be put. They're going to make an example of us. They're going to make an example of us, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But my thing is, when the shoe is on the other foot, make sure y'all have that same energy. Because it is going to happen if it hasn't already. That's the one thing the news will do. General Muhammad even brought this out, man. When the news puts it out, and they start pushing this in your mind so much, eventually there will be another incident. Like look at that whole situation with the Asians shooting up and doing those mass shootings. It's like once a mass shooting happens, it seems like another one happens right away. They might not show them all, they might not put them all out, but it's just like there's copycats that happen because they see it and they see it so much, and then they eventually say, "Well, I could top that." You know what I'm saying? All right, you got that? So, they ain't got nothing on me. It's like, what you got, yo? You had something to say?
Well, God, to jump back, what you said it was called the Pull Out Boys?
Yeah, Pull Up Boys. Yeah, Jump Out Boys.
Jump Out Boys. Yeah, I got it in my head. They do that to the white, the other them other folks. They pull out on them. The first thing they gonna say, "Get your goddamn hands off me."
Like, who is it? You know who my daddy is? You know who my father is? I'll have your job tomorrow.
And they will.
Yeah, they will.
They will.
And that's why ain't no Jump Out Boys in those neighborhoods. You know what I mean? In their neighborhoods. Shoot, you won't even have no Jump Out Boys in Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, they ain't messing with them, but they'll jump out on us. They'll jump out in the hoods. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But go ahead, hit me with that.
Book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father also forgive you.
Dang right. That's how you treat. That's brotherhood, man. That's what brotherhood is. You know what I mean? Shouldn't nobody had to tell you to forgive your brother, man. You should automatically know or have it in your heart. Like, man, yo, all the stuff that I did wrong, and the Most High gave me life. The Most High continues to allow me to get by and live. And all the mistakes that I made, like how I look not being able to forgive my brother when the Most High forgave me, when Christ forgave me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we should be treating our brother. Love your brother as you love yourself. Remember, love your brother as Christ loves us, man. That's how we should be, period. Is this not being taught in the Omega Psi Phi? Is this not being taught in the fraternities, the Greek fraternities? Is that not the secret that y'all keeping from everybody? What's the secret if it's not true brotherhood and how to establish your kingdom? What's the secret? What's the secret that you got to take a beating for? That you got to take a paddle to your behind, or whatever craziness that's going on. You know what I'm saying? What's so much of a secret that you have to take a beating and almost go to death, taking 200 punches to your balls? They punched a 40-year-old man. I guess the 40-year-old man couldn't do it when he was in college. You know what I mean? So he waited because they got grad chapters. You know what I mean? Yes, I know about you. I know some women right now that wasn't able to do it when they was in their 20s and they early 20s and stuff. So they waited until they 30 some odd years old, and now they want to be part of some sorority or some type of Greek fraternity, as if you're going to get some type. You just want to be joined to something. How about you join to the ISUPK? Right. Because here's where you'll have true sisterhood and true brotherhood, and you ain't got to take a beating for it. And we got some secrets that, well, they're not really secrets because they're right there in front of you. They're right here. They're right there. It's just that you don't know how to interpret it. But we have generals who do. We have captains who do right here. That's better than your imams and better than your pastors and your bishops and your lawyers and your your policemen and your fraternity presidents and all that and so forth. You see what I'm saying? And we don't charge you for it. And you don't have to get branded for it. You see what I'm saying? I understand that's a choice to get branded and stuff like that, but the fact that you are willingly getting branded is just asinine to me. Asinine. Even when I was in college and listen, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Be straight up with you. I was in college and it was a time where I even was like, I think I might want to join a fraternity because, they got the secrets. And, once you graduate from college, you need the brothers to get you up. Cause they used to come to your high school and they would be in the nice cars and they have the Greek letters on their car and everything. I knew a couple old heads back in the day. They had good money. You know what I'm saying? They was in Greek fraternity. Yeah, when you go to college, young blood, you want to go ahead and you want to join this and blah blah blah. And when you get out, come holler at me and I got some work for you. Guess what happened, Wyatt Quam? I didn't. I went to college and I flunked out. and guess what happened? I still got the networking. I still got the jobs. You see what I'm saying? I still was shown brother. Why? Because I just was a good brother. And they just recognize you ain't got to go through that. I'm hoping there's a parent out there that might have a college that's about to go to school, might have a kid that's about to go to college, man. Tell that kid not to join no fraternity. Do not join any of these fraternities. You might lose your life. You might lose your life. Leave that to the Romans. Leave that to the Grecians. Leave that to Esau and his kids. You know what I'm saying? Let them do that. Let them do those practices. Because those practices they adopted from the oppressor. That beating with the paddle comes from the oppressor. That beating your brother to prove him, that comes from your oppressor. That doesn't come from your brothers. What's it called? The boule? The boule? I believe it's called the boule. That's how it started. That's the mother of it all. Brothers that got together and decided to, build something up. I remember I was doing a study about the Niagara Falls group. I forget what it's called. I love when some of these things come to my mind, I'm gonna have to do a full breakdown of it. But Captain Zion did an awesome breakdown on these boulets and things like that. And all it was for was to basically separate us, man. There was fraternities at a time that you couldn't join if you wasn't the same color as a paper bag, if you was darker than a brown paper bag. That's why other fraternities came out. Look it up. Look it up. There were some sororities and fraternities that was like, all right, you can only join us because you are light skinned. If you was darker than a paper bag, you couldn't join that fraternity. So they said, all right, well, then we're going to come out with another fraternity. And this fraternity, you can join if you're darker than a brown paper bag. That's why they're always against one another. One of the big things that they have is they'll have competitions where they talk about one another. They have a step competition. That's what you ever seen a step show? Wyatt Quam, you ever seen that?
Sir.
Yeah. At the step shows, what they do is they talk about one another. You ugly. Your mama said you ugly. And your sister too. Ooh.
Cheerleaders.
Yeah. That's what we do. Oh man, oh my goodness. It used to be real bad, man. Especially at the parties. Oh my gosh, man. Dudes would be butt naked. Butt naked. For what? I didn't get it. It's like, all right, I guess the party over. These dudes is getting butt naked. All right, I'm out of here. Like, what's that about? You know what I'm saying? So, like, where's the brotherhood in that? There is no brotherhood in that. That's why I'm off it. For real. There is no brotherhood in these fraternities, man. And I don't care, how many friends I'm gonna lose on this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely I got this shared to my my Facebook page and all that stuff. I ain't care less, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact of the matter is, it's about time that we start doing a new thing, and keeping these law, statutes, commandments, and separating ourselves, and not try to be like the oppressor. Don't try to be like the world. Matter of fact, it shouldn't be a new thing because it's been in our book right in front of us the whole time. We just never took the time to read it. You know what I mean? Never took the time to read it. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. Let me get another one here. Get another one. What time we got? All right, it's a little bit after 11. All right, I'm about to wrap it up while you're calm. I know you got, you know what I mean, we got to go to our slave and everything. Let me get Lamentations chapter 1 and verse 5. Lamentations in the Old Testament, right after Jeremiah. Chapter 1 and verse 5.
I ain't heard that book in a while.
I know, right? That's why I had to give you a little map real quick. Oh shoot. Yep.
Khan, Book of Lamentations, chapter 1, verse 5. Her adversaries are the chief, her enemies proposer
Prosper.
Salakia, prosper, for the Lord have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions.
That's right, man. When you going into these daggons, these people becoming police, right? You going in there and you're trying to get those raises, right? But it's your enemy that prospers. Like even in your job, man, it's like how many times have we heard we have to do so much to prove ourselves? Like they can come in here and they can just do the littlest things and they get raises, they get promotions. But we have to come in here and we have to go above and beyond to prove that we are worthy, you know what I mean, of getting these promotions. This is the mindset of our people, man. This is our mindset of the people that are lost and do not know the truth, that care more about getting promotions, care more about about, you know what I mean, being seen as something great within these organizations. And I'm not talking about the Greek fraternity thing. Like that, like I said, I'm over that. I'm talking about your job. I'm talking about these so-called police officers. Because you have to have a certain type of mind frame to totally disregard your brother. You have to have a certain type of mind frame. You have to go in and day out wondering what you can do to be set apart from everybody else, to be looked at as something that is worth being promoted to that next level. I want to be a detective. I want to be this. I want to be that. You have to be totally separated. You can't be biased. You see what I'm saying? So these police officers, man, these jump out boys, you see what I'm saying? They get into these organizations, these police organizations, whatever have you, with the intentions on proving themselves however possible way they can. And some of them just do it just because they just love just putting their foot on their people's neck, man. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, they went in this whole thing, you know what I mean, looking to take something out on the brother. I honestly believe that there was something behind the scenes that caused these brothers to do what they did, something personal. There was some type of personal vendetta. But I'm not surprised if there wasn't, because, you know, sometimes we do so much, you know what I mean, and we thinking that we're going to be seen or we're going to be accepted, and come to find out, you know, we're not only we going to be accepted, we're going to be ostracized, man, and that's what's happening right now, man. That's what's happening right now. They probably thought that the organization was going to have their back, but the chief said, "I don't know what they talking about. My man was driving the speed limit." She was like, "This is ridiculous. Let's fire them right now." It's crazy, man.
Like if I could,
Right.
what's so heavy? What you're saying is because like if you notice like say like a young black man just got in the force, be a cop, he gonna pull you over for anything just to get you a ticket just to prove himself.
Yeah.
But put it in reverse to an Edomite that's been in the game for a while. He gonna let you go. All right, I'll give you a warning.
My
But
man ain't trying to do no paperwork.
let it be someone young, a young man. He
Mhm.
he gonna give you a ticket for anything.
Right.
Make sure he give you a ticket. He don't want to hear nothing. He don't want to hear nothing you guys say. He gonna
Right.
give you that ticket. Now,
Exactly.
where's the passion at?
Right. Where
Because
the
you
where,
want
where,
to prove something.
where the protect and serve at, man? Like you just wanna punish. But guess what? You know what? It's okay, Wyatt Kwam. It's all right, man, because one day we gonna be ruling. Our brothers is gonna be ruling. It's gonna be righteous rulership. And I'm gonna pull you over for eating a ham sandwich while driving. I mean, we was having this discussion the other day, man. My dad going siren going to be beep, 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 beep. And I'm going to pull you over and be like, that's what I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna say, you know why I pulled you over? I don't know. What's that in your hand, man? You eating a ham sandwich while driving? You know what I mean? No mercy. I ain't giving you no warning. You know what I mean? Give you the ticket right away. I ain't gonna have mercy just like y'all ain't gonna have mercy, man. You know what I'm saying?
We dealing with Parks there. He might have to get his car towed.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't touch it. I can't even come close to the car. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you gonna have to get out here. No, don't touch it. I mean, go ahead and get the one Edomite that was giving mercy to tow your truck, to tow your car. They go tow your car on out of here, man. You gotta pay them. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we might have to demolish the car because it was pork all over the car. You know what I'm saying?
Who told you that? I need to give me that information too.
Yeah. God, man. Yeah, man. But was that it on that? Was that eliminations 1 and 5?
It says for her children are gone into captivity before the enemy.
Right, man. Because of our affliction, man, our children gone into captivity before the enemy. Let me tell you something, man. It's a lot of punishment that comes with us not keeping our law, statutes, and commandments, man. And one thing is for sure, like we can learn to keep the law, statutes, commandments. That's an easy thing. You know where we struggle at is brotherhood. Because brotherhood is us keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and teaching our brothers to keep the law, statutes, commandments. That part right there is rough. You know what I mean? Having enough love and compassion for your brother to make sure that he too is doing the right thing. Holding your brother accountable and then you being accountable for your actions. You see what I'm saying? That's a tough thing. That's what's stopping us from getting the kingdom is brotherhood. It ain't keeping the law, statutes, commandments. What's keeping us from getting the kingdom is brotherhood. Because when we go out on the street corners every Saturday and we teaching our brothers about brotherhood, about loving one another and separating, they are fighting for the oppressor. They are fighting for their job. You see what I'm saying? That's what they see as right. Oh no, how much money you making? You want to do all this? Well, what are you doing? Why we got to hate the Edomite? Never mind everybody else. Nobody care about nobody else. They care about the oppressor. Stockholm syndrome. You see what I'm saying? Once we understand brotherhood, then we can actually do something. This whole incident that happened with these 5 police officers was to show that we have no brotherhood. This was a public example of we have no brotherhood to the people that's supposed to have brotherhood, to the people that's supposed to protect and serve and watch out and know what's right and wrong. The way that, like before we would say black on black crime and it was, the drug dealer against the drug dealer, the gang member against the gang member. But here it is 5 black officers against one man, against one black man. You see what I'm saying? This was to show that we don't have any brotherhood. That this is where we lacking. That somebody who's supposed to know the law, again, and supposed to know right from wrong, does not know how to treat their own people.
So like I said,
What was that?
In that video when they had him on the ground, didn't one of the cops say, "I hate you"?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, I haven't really watched it. I seen a part of it, and I was just like, you know what, man, I'm gonna watch it before I go to camp. You know what I mean? I'm saving it for a camp day. You know what I mean? I watched a little bit this past week, and that was enough for me to go out and, you know what I mean, slam a little bit. But I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna analyze and watch the whole thing. Somebody said that they were saying all types of crazy stuff, like, you know what I mean, I don't know, something about the Make America Great or something like, I don't know if it was something like that. But if the dude was saying, like, again, the thing that just recently came out was that this brother, there might have been some personal issue, you know what I mean, that caused this man to really lash in on this dude and kill him. You know what I mean? Kill him. And if it's true that, you know, it's because this man was sleeping with his wife, I mean, hey man, you know, that makes it even worse. But you know, it doesn't make it any better. You know what I mean? Doesn't make it any better. You know what I mean? That, you know, oh man, well, he was sleeping with his wife, so, you know, he deserves it. No, it ain't nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Even in doing that, you know what I mean? We got to understand that, you know, the Most High gave us mercy, gave us grace, gave us this time to do things the right way. You know what I mean? If that's the case, man, good night. I mean, and I mean, I understand it, why a man would be upset, but, you know, it was said that this man had already been separated from his wife, and then of course, you know, this was all happening. So, and it just so happens that his wife and this dude Tyree, they work at the same job at FedEx, whatever have you. So people are putting 2 and 2 together, and they trying to find out a motive for why this went down the way it did, because anybody looking at the video, and that's what I saw, you know what I mean, when I did see the video, that it seemed personal. It didn't seem like it was just somebody pulling somebody over for a traffic stop or reckless driving. You see what I'm saying? It seemed a bit personal. So if it does come out, you know, that's what happened, you know, understand either way the outcome is still going to be the same. They're going to throw these men under the jail for a long time. It ain't going to be no Amber Geiger situation. No judge is going to come off the pulpit to hug any of these officers. None of the COs is going to pick their hair.
Right, said.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be none of that. Nope. None of the Tyree's family members are going to ask to hug the police officers. You see what I'm saying? No matter how much they cry in the courtroom and say they didn't know they was killing him, they didn't know he was going to die, they're so sorry. I wish I could turn back the hands of time. No matter how much they say and do, they're going to be thrown under the jail. Under the jail. They're going to be treated like OJ was on his second trial. It's like, I know you seem sorry, man. You look like you really are sorry, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw the book at you. You know what I mean? They might even get her. They might even get the chick that did OJ's trial. Good night. Salakia, man. It's not a funny matter. It's not funny. Y'all gotta excuse me, man. Y'all gotta excuse me. I know I laugh at certain things, but it's just a messed up situation, man. It's a messed up situation, and I pray and hope that these brothers can, you know, I don't know, ask for forgiveness, and hopefully they can get that. But that's all. Lord be with them. What I mean, that's all I can say. With that situation, but it's just a horrible situation, and the thing that really gets on me, and I'm wrapping up here with this, it just gets on me that something that's being taught in the world that's supposed to be seen as brotherly has not is not doing its job. What I mean? That's why it's important. I'm gonna say it again for anybody that's watching, man. Get in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. What I mean? We've been here since 1969, and we know what true brotherhood is. You won't find it in your Christian church. You won't find it in your Muslim mosque. You won't find it in any gang. No Pyru, no none of that. You won't find no truth. I mean, will you find it in the gang? I mean, I've seen them brothers get all saying they all for their brother, and then they snitch on one another. You know what I'm saying? You won't find it in any gang. You won't find it in fraternities. You won't find it in sororities. All right? You'll get your reward, your worldly reward, if that's what you're looking for. You want to join a fraternity, go ahead and join a fraternity and have all the sex you want, because that's what that's about. You know what I mean? Yes, I know about you. Have all the sex you want. You know what I mean? Get the good job, all the good jobs you want. I done lost somebody just because I said that, because they know it's true. You know what I mean? There's some sororities. I understand. Go ahead and act like I don't know what I'm talking about. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? You can act like you don't know what I'm talking about all you want, but the fact of the matter is that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers get into fraternities because they want to have a whole bunch of women to have sex. They want to get into orgies because they heard the stories. They hear the stories about joining these fraternities and how they have orgies. I was in college when they was like, all right, it's time for y'all to go. We about to really have some fun, but you're not in the frat, so you can't stay. It ain't just the Esau's fraternities that do this. We do this. The Hispanic fraternities do it. You see what I'm saying? So learn what true brotherhood is by reading the Bible and separating yourself from this world. And that's all I got to say. You got anything? Wyatt Kwam?
Get in class.
Damn right. Get in class and get in all black. Ain't that right?
Got all kinds of.
Get in all black, man. Get in class, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you got something that you want to say, or if you want to defend your fraternity and sorority, you know what I mean, come to 1232 North King Street. Say what you got to say. You know what I mean? We there every day. You know what I'm saying? We on Saturdays, weather permitting. You know what I mean? Lord allow, weather permitting. We on the corners as well. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to come defend and say that, it's better for us to be in a fraternity than it is to be in the ISUPK, so be it. It's better for us to be in a Christian church than it is for being in the ISUPK. Come on, let's discuss it. It's better you for being in a gang than to be in an ISUPK. Come on, let's discuss it. Let's see if that's the truth. Let's see if that's fact. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you that ain't no brotherhood like the brotherhood that we have here in the UPK, man, all across the world. Shouts out, to Wyatt Kwam. Appreciate you coming on here. You know what I'm saying? My brother right there, you know what I'm saying? He was out last week, no sweat. You know what I mean? He back in the game again this week. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Of course, shouts out to Captain Zion, you know what I mean, for holding Delaware down and giving us an opportunity to build this place up. You know what I'm saying? So, big shouts out to him. Shouts out to all my brothers here in the truth. You know what I mean? Big shouts out. We got the Feast of Purim coming up, February 5th, right? March 5th. You know what I'm saying? So we got that coming up, man. And then right after that, we got the Passover, man. So I got the video locked and loaded. I'm going to go ahead and rock out with that. I appreciate all y'all checking in. You know what I mean? People was coming by, you know what I mean, looking for a hot second and then dipping off. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was some of my boys that I knew from the world that was in fraternities. You know what I mean? Or not. Yes, I was talking about you. Yes, I was talking about you. But no, man, you know what I mean? Shouts out to y'all stepping through and getting them likes out. I appreciate it. We had 6 people on here, 7 likes. I appreciate y'all. I'm pretty sure it's, y'all get some views. Y'all make sure y'all share this. And, you know, that's all I got, man. Yo, brotherhood is a weapon, not a fraternity. All right. So find out what true brotherhood is. You know what I mean? Follow the scriptures, follow the class, and make sure y'all pay y'all tithes, man. Pay y'all tithes to the ISUPK. All right. And with that, Shalom Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Brakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alathum Ba'Shem Yahushua to my sisters. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and go on out to the Passover vid. All right. Shalom, Lord Christ.
Yeah, man, y'all shit was dope, man. Yo, Zora, you really about to go to New York for real?
Yo, man, we out.
Man, you ain't going no damn New York, bro. You don't be going nowhere like that.
Yo, man.
See, I've been places, you know what I'm saying? I travel. I go, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what about you, Shrew?
I mean, niggas don't really be going nowhere, but I do. I know I do.
Where you been at? Where you been at, man?
Shit, I be out Puerto Rico. I be out Cuba.
Shit, I've been in the
This nigga ain't been to no motherfucking Cuba, man.
Where's your Cuban cigar at?
Niggas go to Baltimore act like they been somewhere.
I've been places too. I've been to places too.
I don't know what you gonna need.
Man, what you, Cap? Well, I know Captain. He's an international. Where you got? You've been all over the place, Captain.
Trinidad, Canada.
Damn,
I've been around, man.
Damn, you been out there with drinking and shit?
Damn, that's better than what I was.
What about you, Yashima? What's up?
No, I'm from Jamaica, but I've been Canada, Florida, New York.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Philly.
Shit. What about you, Cap?
Well, I'll tell you where y'all niggas ain't been.
Yo, Cat, where you been though, man?
Man, I've been where y'all niggas ain't been. I've been to the Passover.
What?
Yeah, y'all ain't never been there? You ain't never been to the Passover?
Damn, Cat, that was a hurt piece.
Y'all ain't never been to the Passover? Y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
What the fuck is
You ain't never been to the Passover? Huh? You ever been to the Passover? My bad. But y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
Unfortunately not.
You got the lamb slaughter. You got General Muhammad's class. We got the children's party.
Children's.
They got stuff for the kids to do. We got babysitters. They need babysitters.
I love the kids.
I ain't fucking with them kids.
And we're gonna have a black party.
Oh, shit.
And guess what?
What's that?
If you pay your Passover fees up front, you can get in the black party for free.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying.
black party?
It's gonna be performances there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be open bar with the beer and the wine all night. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be in the building, you know what I mean?
Niggas say black party? Shit.
Keep going.
Israel, you already know what it is. We do it bigger and better every year. This year, the 54th annual Passover.
And before the Passover, we got the biggest party of the year. It's the annual Black Party, March 30th. That's on a Thursday at the Durham Armory. Make sure y'all in the building.
And the moment y'all all been waiting for, the 54th annual ISUPK Passover, April 1st. April 1st, we doing it big. Once again, serving the Most High in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And you can get all of that at this year's Passover.